Honorable Architect David Njuguna Kiaraho was born on 3rd October 1963 at Kahuho village in the then Mugoga location, Kikuyu division in Kiambu district. He was the fifth born of the late Henry Kiaraho Cairo and the late Sarah Nyatuga Kiaraho. His siblings were Dr. Daniel Cairo Kiaraho, the late Engineer Paul Gatabia, Joseph Mwaniki, the late John Makumi, and Hannah Wajiko Kiaraho. David's family migrated from Kiambu to Olkarau, Nyandarua County in the year 1965, which is where he spent his early life. Education. Mheshimiwa began his education journey at Munyeki Primary School, Olkarau, in 1971, then transferred to Park Road Primary School in Nairobi, where he completed his primary education in 1977. He then joined Alliance High School for O-level studies between 1978 and 1983. After that, he joined Nairobi School for A-level studies in A-level studies. In 1985, he enrolled at the University of Nairobi, where he pursued a Bachelor of Architecture degree and graduating in 1993. Professional life. Following his graduation, Honorable Kiaraho took his first steps in a profession he would come to shape with distinction, registering as a practicing architect, and in 1999, founding Acrid Systems. What began as a consultancy grew under his leadership into a respected firm, defined not only by technical excellence, but by vision, integrity, and purpose. As lead consultant of Acrid Systems, Honorable Kiaraho became an accomplished and astute architect whose work left a profound and lasting imprint on Kenya's urban landscape. His portfolio stands as a testament to both ambition and discipline, spanning landmark developments such as the Yacht Hotel in Westlands, Western Height, the best Western Hotel in Westlands, the 5-star estate in South Sea, West Park Towers in Parklands, and 40 suites in Upper Hill. Among many others, each project reflected not only his professional mastery, but also his deep understanding of the evolving character of our cities. Yet, beyond these visible achievements, his contributions to the affordable housing program across the country speaks to a deeper calling, one rooted in service, inclusivity, and the belief that architecture must ultimately improve the lives of all people. Not just a few, but perhaps his greatest legacy is not found in concrete or glass, but in people. Honorable Kiaraho was more than an architect. He was a mentor. He invested his time, wisdom, and patience in nurturing young professionals within the built environment, guiding them with both rigor and compassion. Many of those he mentored have gone on to establish their own successful practices, carrying forward not just his lessons, but his values. He saw potential where otherwise saw inexperience. He challenged without discouraging, corrected without diminishing, and led in a way that inspired confidence and growth. In doing so, he did not simply shape careers, he shaped future. Today, as we remember him, we honor a man who built more than structures, he built a generation. And in every skyline, he helped define, and in every professional, he helped uplift. His legacy will continue to stand strong, enduring and deeply human. He was a successful businessman and a visionary property developer. Honorable Kiaraho was a devoted family man. Now this is the family life now. Honorable Kiaraho was a devoted family man to whom, despite his busy professional and political life, family always came first. He married the love of his life, Jacqueline Jerry Njuguna, on the 1st April 1994 at St. Andrew's Church, and the two were blessed with 3 children, Ian Kiaraho, Melissa Nyatuga Dongo, and Anthony Nganga, and 3 grandchildren, Shane Kiaraho, Amelia Kiaraho, and Waridi Dongo. To his children, he was more than a father. He was a steady, reassuring presence in their lives. In the moments that mattered, he was there, not simply in body, but fully and attentively, with the kind of quiet support that children carry with them along into adulthood. When Ian brought home his wife, Leroy Siparo, and Melissa, her husband, J.D. Dongo, Honorable Kiaraho opened his arms without reservation. He welcomed them not as additions to the family, but as his own children, with the same warmth, the same pride, and the same quiet devotion he had always shown. And his embrace did not stop there. The families they came from were welcomed just the same dawn into the fold of a man whose heart, it seemed, had no limit when it came to those connected to the people he loved. In his grandchildren, Honorable Kiaraho found a renewed sense of joy and purpose. He embraced the role as a guka with the characteristics warmth, taking a genuine and attentive interest in each of them as individuals. He held high hopes for their future and carried them close in his heart. Church life. Honorable Kiaraho's spiritual journey was firmly rooted in the Presbyterian tradition, having been baptized and confirmed in the Pcea church, where his lifelong commitments to faith began. He later became a devoted member of Pcea St. Andrew's Church, Nairobi, where he faithfully worshipped and actively served. He was a committed member of the Presbyterian Church Men's Fellowship, PCMF, living out its tenets with integrity, humility, and dedication. Through his fellowship, he exemplified Christian leadership, demonstrating a life anchored in faith, discipline, and service. His life and care for his family were a true reflection of his Christian values, and he consistently modeled responsibility, compassion, and stewardship within his household. Honorable Kiaraho also made remarkable contributions to the development of the church. During the construction of the Stans Church apartment, he served diligently as a member of the development committee and led the technical subcommittee. He generously gave his time, expertise, and leadership, spearheading a highly successful fundraising effort that greatly contributed to the completion of the project. The apartments later became a significant source of income for the church, especially during the challenging period of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, he offered his professional skill as an architect freely to the church, providing invaluable architectural services for various feasibility studies and projects. As a committed Christian, he also contributed to the development of many church projects and supported the needs of other churches in Olkarau and beyond, extending his service and generosity to the wider body of Christ. Honorable Kiaraho will be remembered as a faithful servant of God, a pillar in the church, and a man whose life bore witness to the value he believed in. His legacy of service, generosity, and devotion to God and the church will continue to inspire generations to come. Political life. Honorable Kiaraho political journey started in the year 2012 when he vied and won the Olkarau parliamentary seat. He diligently served his people, and in return, his constituents elected him again in 2017 and 2022. In his 13 years service to the people of Olkarau as an MP, he accomplished a lot for them and left a lasting mark in their constituency. He highly valued education, a testimony of which is the 11 new secondary schools and 5 new primary schools that he set up in the constituency, besides the many more he uplifted through infrastructural development. He was instrumental in setting up 60% of chiefs' offices in the area and 5 offices for the assistant chiefs, besides constructing and equipping 7 police posts and 5 police stations in the region. School bursaries were at the center of his service to his people and one of his major achievements. His effort in that docket that seek to avail equal chances to all children irrespective of their background are highly commended by many besides the immediate beneficiaries. David, or Dadiwa Power, that was his nickname, as a people in the constituency called him, interacted and served all equally. At the national level, Honorable Kiaraho served as a member of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure and the Procedure and House Rules Committee in Parliament. Health. In his final season, Honorable Kiaraho faced a period of declining health with the same quiet dignity that had defined his life. He was surrounded by the love of his family, cared for, and cherished to the very end. On 29th March 2026, he went to rest, leaving behind a family forever shaped by his love. He was a titan in both politics and architecture. He served the people of Olkarau with distinction and shaped his nation with vision and leaves a legacy that will endure long beyond his years. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's appreciate him for reading so well. And at this point, I'll welcome Mr. Gashara to coordinate the tributes and the presentations.